sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start looking as a lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but at heart, in the dead of the night, teardrops on the floor. The pain is over, feel the darkness take control.
Hey, bonjour. Alors, là j'étais prêt tout pour lancer, j'étais chaud et il a refait une vérification des fichiers. Comme ça. Super. Tac. Ok. Ouais, l'image elle est belle de qualité en fait. Mon téléphone. Bon. Hier, on a fait l'acte 3. Acte 3 que j'ai trouvé chiant. On a fait 2h30 de quête, je crois. Que du dialogue, on a tourné en rond, on n'a pas fait un combat. Ouais, ok, l'intrigue, elle est cool et tout. Mais franchement, alors, comme ça, ils auraient mis une cinématique de 2 heures, c'était pareil. On a servi à rien. Mais sérieux. Ça aurait été limite plus joli qu'ils fassent un film plutôt que faire ce qu'on a fait là. Mais bon. J'ai vu des petites news passer. Comme quoi maintenant les donjons... Les donjons de... Ah, comment dire pour up les compétences des personnages. Ces donjons-là. Qui sont accessibles uniquement... Enfin, ça dépend lesquels. Mais par exemple, celui à Inazuma, celui à Libu, ils sont accessibles uniquement via des quêtes d'histoire de personnages. Et bah j'ai vu qu'apparemment ça passerait genre on les débloquerait automatiquement dès le début. C'est bien pour les nouveaux joueurs. Encore celui de Libu, tu peux quand même l'avoir assez vite. Celui de Raiden, tu l'as assez tard. Et celui de Sumeru, c'est encore pire. Et bon après, honnêtement, le temps de faire toute la quête d'histoire, on va dire, et pas encore trop au moment où tu optimises tes persos et tout. Tu le fais justement que quand t'as un temps creux, que soit tu sens que tu galères vraiment, soit il n'y a plus de quête et que t'as que ça à faire quoi. Surtout en vrai, le up des skills sur Genshin, c'est pas le truc qui vous donnera le plus de dégâts. En vrai de vrai. Moi tout est à 6 je crois. J'ai pas pris le temps de farmer. Je le trouve quand même assez long et chiant le farming. Surtout que je crois... En fait j'avais calculé, ça m'a déprimé. Le nombre... Parce que je crois qu'on a le droit à 3 récompenses par semaine, comme sur Honkai. Et genre t'en as que 1 et c'est aléatoire. Sauf que sur Honkai tu fais un pour un truc, c'est ça, t'as que ça. Et t'en as jusqu'à 5 je crois. Donc bon. Tu fais les 3 fois, tu peux peut-être ton personnage à fond. Mais en vrai, je dois bien avouer, je trouve le système de traces quand même assez mieux que celui de... Bah là, de up de capacité. Sur mon cas, j'ai farmé un peu ce matin. Bailou, il me reste un niveau sur son attaque normale, un niveau sur son talent et sa compétence, je crois, 2 niveaux sur son ulti, et il me reste 2 petites traces à choper. Donc en vrai, elle est bientôt full aussi. Je pense que je farme encore pendant 2-3 jours et ce sera bon. Après j'en ai aucune idée. Je passe encore un peu le son de la musique. Ouais, c'est mieux. Après, soit... Bah après, je vais peut-être commencer à faire ma team secondaire. Parce que le pionnier, il va pas rester. Il va pas rester. Ou peut-être dans une team secondaire. Et encore, c'est même pas sûr. Mais du coup, je voudrais Gwynaifen ou Sampo du coup pour la main team. Et du coup, l'autre team, je vais commencer peut-être à m'occuper d'inhibiteur Lunae, de Lynx. Et là, pour l'instant, je crois que j'ai mis March 7. March 7 et le pionnier. Non, j'ai remplacé par Yukong, c'est vrai. Je voulais essayer un perso de l'harmonie. Parce que j'en joue pas beaucoup. Et j'ai un peu de mal en vrai. Alors que c'est très très fort quand t'as un hyper carry. Le booster. Mais faut que j'arrive à la faire jouer juste avant. Inhibitant Lunae. Donc ouais, c'est chaud. Et du coup en 2 pour l'instant il y aurait le pionnier. Mais là j'ai vu, oh ils ont annoncé. Je sais plus où je l'ai vu. Je crois que c'était sur YouTube. Si je fais... Staril. Genre hop la chaîne. Communauté. Ouais c'est là. Ils ont annoncé Anya. Physique harmonie. Oh, il y a Argentier aussi qui est passé, j'ai pas vu. Donc c'est quoi? Physique, érudition, yo-yo, abondance, vent. Ah ouais, mais en fait, je regarde jamais ces trucs là. Ouais, c'est pas trop à jouer. Ils l'ont pas fait pour tout le monde. Ok. Donc il y a de grandes chances qu'on ait. Donc pas en 1.4 du coup. Mais en 1.5 je pense. Elle, Yo-Yo, Argentine et elle. J'avais vu la 4 étoiles pop. Du coup je me suis dit, oh c'est peut-être le prochain 4 étoiles. Je me suis dit peut-être qu'ils vont en sortir plus que prévu. Parce que là ils en sortent un par patch et ils le mettent toujours sur la phase 2. Je me suis dit peut-être qu'il sera là sur la phase 1 mais non je pense qu'il sera sur la phase 2. Encore après. que là on aurait Jingliu. On aurait Topaz et Comty avec Green Hyphen. Et donc là, je vais garder tous mes jades, tous mes bons, pour Topaz et Comty que je voudrais. Je voudrais la mettre à la place du pionnier du coup. Avec inhibiteur le nez. Je me dis que ça peut être pas mal. Un perso de la chasse un peu hyper carry. Faudrait que j'arrive à la faire jouer en 3ème. Ou en 2ème. Avec Yukong en premier. Et comme ça, Yukong elle met les buffs sur... Enfin ça buff les stats de... Inhibitor Nai et Topaz. Ça peut être pas mal. Oh je sais pas ce que j'ai depuis ce matin, j'ai mal à la gorge. Alors ça dit quoi? Ah, un événement. Ah, c'est l'anniversaire d'Ayaka. Elle est du 28 septembre. De rien. Merci. Bah, c'est bon. Merci pour les primos. Du coup, avec ça, plus ceux de la maintenance, on a chopé 1000 primos gratos. J'ai combien? 5006. Et 13 je peux quand en acheter un... Bon non. C'est pas ce que je voulais faire. C'est pas ça non plus. C'est pas comme sur Honkai. Je vais voir j'étais à combien de pitié. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 27. Ok. Oh, faut que je clique sur ces trucs là. Et une nouveauté sur la carte. Il y a des trucs que j'arrive pas à prononcer parce que ça remonte dans ma gorge. Hop, 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 je m'en fous. Ah. Voilà. Voilà. Qui sont ceux-là?
Look, there are some people talking over there.
If you ask me, those pompous parasites on the surface act like they're all a bunch of aristocrats. Do any of them give half a hoot about a bunch of dogs like us?
Hey, speak for yourself, mate. I'm no dog.
Oh, you think you're special or something? If you're here, then you're just a convict like the rest of us. I've heard that even if you're released after serving...
I don't buy that.
Hey, how cool would it be if the whole world was destroyed by a giant flood and everyone had to start over from nothing?
What kind of filthy bilgewater you spewing? I have family up there. You best listen. Things ain't so great on the surface, but who says that you have to leave? I've heard that you can still stay here and work even after you've served your sentence. Not bad if you ask me. Who wants to live in the ruddy overworld anyway?
And what makes you think they'd want to hire someone like you? That's one of the...
Whoa, sounds like they're really unhappy. Speaking of which, Paimon never heard anyone use the words overworld or underworld when we were living up there. Isn't that's true?
Overworld, Underworld. Comme sur Honkai.
there's a group of people over there.
So I said, that's not a faucet. Hey, who are you two?
Oh, sorry for eavesdropping. Sounds like you were...
What's the matter? They're just looking to join.
Hey, don't pretend like it's okay for them to just interrupt us like that. Yeah, fine.
You hear that, Quisto? What nice!
Your expressions tell me you're looking to hear some juicy info, am I right?
Really? Are we that famous?
You're kidding. How often does anyone get a personal tour led by His Grace himself? Practically everyone was talking about it. Word has it that you also caused
A little mistake, huh? I like the way you put it. You see, people with a good attitude can join our group anytime.
Your group...
I'm Quisto, and this is Lavaroon. People usually call us the Bombshell Bros, but don't worry. We're not playing with bombs or anything. It's just that our information is always so explosive.
So, you two really like to go...
No, you don't get it. Knowing intelligence will make things better for you here. For example, knowing who's working with whom, who has the latest rumors, who's not getting along. Wouldn't you like to know all that? Whoa, all this info's worth something,
I don't mind him. Quisto's always this way. Just play nice. The welfare meals. Talk about the welfare meals.
Right. That meal we had yesterday was super delicious.
Is that so? To tell you the truth, I've been helping out with making those welfare meals. I've been working as a kitchen...
Oh, so you're the one who made those
You are correct. I am a true professional. And since you like my cooking, I guess that means we share similar tastes. Listen carefully. This little bomb... Listen, kids. The power structure within the fortress is quite complicated. The overworlders couldn't care less about us down here. You've already met the one person here you should never cross, the Duke, Wriosthley. He knows more than you think. And if he doesn't care about something, then he often doesn't bother dealing with it.
Those who have the Duke's attention get all kinds of special perks. Even better treatment in the...
I know who you mean. It's that Jurier character, right? I don't think there's anything useful about him at all. Why does he visit the infirmary practically every day?
But did you know that Jurier was a talented researcher from the Fontaine Research?
I don't care if he was a researcher that could turn dirt into mora. Once you're in the fortress... Speaking of which, the last time I saw him, he was passing by the corridor with Lorvine. I also heard they started arguing in the library and got into...
You mean he hit a woman? Wow, I never imagined he was that bad.
But that Lorvine's also quite the odd one, you know? She's always gabbing away, got into a fight with a man, and she also got sent to the infirmary. Come to think of it,
Wait a second. You don't...
Do you think could it be that they're secretly meeting there to go on dates?
After all, I do remember seeing Lorvine beat Jurier to a pulp that one time.
Ok. Et du coup maintenant ici.
Hey, you over there?
Pas fini.
Yeah, you. Say, do you like playing card games? You know, like Genius Invocation TCG?
You TCG players are like mint in the wild, literally sprouting up everywhere.
Hey, come on now. What's wrong with finding fellow Invocation aficionados? Anyway, all right.
But why would you be looking for people to play Genius Invocation?
Whether you're throwing down cards or throwing punches, it's all a competition, isn't it? It's all this. There are lots of card players here in the fortress. When I saw you, I immediately thought, hey, even outsiders from other... Sure.
Great! since you've been here longer than
Je
us,
suis pas du tout
you
penché
need
là
to
sur le jeu de
flex your
cartes, moi.
seniority a little bit, right?
I thought you would have already heard everything by now. All right, then. Did you have anything specific in mind? Or do you want me to...
Why don't you pick? We'll let you know if we've heard it already.
All right. Have you heard any strange... Then, did you know that there are some... There are two guys who are always skulking around in the corners of corridors gossiping. The bigger guy is Quisto, and the skinny one is... I never really found their gossip very mind-blowing. And it's pretty much just the same stuff that I hear about. If you're interested, you can go talk with them. They tend to talk a lot of nonsense.
Good to know. Do you have...
Let me think. Sounds like you want... Oh, did you know that the Duke was also a convict in the fortress of Meripede before?
Huh?
That's right. The Duke was an inmate just like you and me. Seems he was exiled here for committing some crime. To go from an ordinary inmate to becoming the manager of the whole place? A forbidden zone? Sounds like something that someone just made up.
It's just a rumor we've been hearing, but no worries if you've...
Anything else? Not that I can think of, but I'll be sure to tell you anything interesting I hear next time.
Okay, we've talked to just about everyone, and it's about time for us to go meet Linny. According to the card he left us, we should go meet him in the production zone.
J'ai gagné quoi là? Ah ouais, c'est pour l'événement. Je peux avoir un endroit? Si? Je sais pas.
Navigating the world is a whole lot easier with a few different identities to choose from. Need me to come up with some for you? Take it easy.
J'avais un point de TP ici en plus. Hein. J'aurais pu m'en servir. Ah ouais, il y a l'inné.
Huh? That look in your eyes. You found something?
Hey, this is no time to be modest. Just tell him we found a boatload.
Oh, as expected of the legendary duo. Huh. I'd have never guessed that myself. The rumors swirling about this place are unreliable after all, and Master Child probably went missing because he found a way. He is a harbinger after all. I suppose he's much more resourceful. Unfortunately, this isn't enough for our final report to Father. We need to find out. Father told me that even though Master Child said he was just coming to Fontaine for a vacation, he actually had some personal reasons. His agenda might be linked to his disappearance.
His escape route is already flooded, so we'll have to task someone with professional diving.
Well, when you put it that way.
Bingo!
He's working today. Coming here as a group would have attracted too much attention. I'll talk to him about it later. It's the least I can do. We're all in this together. Honestly, I'm far more impressed by you guys managing to
Collecting information is...
Now, let me think. To find out more information, Fremine, and if he's to do that, he'll have to set out on the next pipe cleaning day at the earliest. That's 6 days from now. And after that, he'll probably take...
You can even estimate how long it'll take for him to get back?
We've been working together for a long time. We know Traveler. What say you to meeting here 9 days from now? We'll be able to pick up Fremine while we're at it, too. Oh, and there's just one last thing we'd like. Though we can just sit back and wait for Fremine's report on Master Child's whereabouts, Fremine's no master of disguise. Lynette's still working on getting intel from the other areas, and I'll need to spend some time helping Fremine prepare for his diving mission.
What do you want us to do? Will it be hard?
Well, I won't call it easy per se, but listen carefully. You'll need to find an excuse to get into the infirmary and investigate the room and environs. You've mentioned several sketchy-looking people always meeting at the infirmary earlier, so it probably has something to do with the secret. Investigate the internal structure of the... But also, there's no need to take risks. My apologies, I just started rambling out of habit. It was almost as if I was talking to my younger...
But that's not a bad thing, right? All right, then we'll head out as...
Let's go our separate ways for now, then.
Elle est très discrète, Paimon.
Stay here for now. Paimon will take a peek. There seem to be several people inside.
It's not impossible.
It's a bit hard to understand them from here. So, why don't... Someone! Please help! He's sick!
Whoa, are you okay?
Oh my! What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin. The traveler started complaining of a stomachache, and then nausea, and then collapsed onto the ground. Behind freezing limbs, twitching fingers, and pale complexion. Could it be poison? Let me take a look. Please, lie down over here. Don't worry, I'll get you to the bed safely. Here, hold on to my shoulder and walk slowly. You can do it, traveler! Don't apologize. You're sick after all. Now, please relax. I'm just going to do a preliminary checkup on you. My checkup has confirmed that he's not in any mortal danger. Eh? Oh, that's good. I'll continue my diagnosis of the patient now. Please, relax. Don't sense serious damage to your organs either. Does it hurt when I press heat? And here? Huh? But based on my initial checkup, there shouldn't be a problem here. How strict... What about here? Oh, I think you just ate something that disagreed with you. That's all. Nothing too serious. Outside of a pretty bad... So that's what it is. Thank goodness. And there have been other inmates complaining about the food recently. I'll inform our head chef, Mr. Wolsey, of this problem as soon as possible. Congratulations! The health risk is incredibly low, so you should recover within a couple days. Why don't you take a rest here while I go get some medicine? Miss Levine, I'll have to trouble you to help me look after this new patient while I'm gone.
Very well.
And she hopped away, just like...
Hello. So how are you feeling now?
His stomach ache's really bad. He was stumbling about the whole way here, so...
If Miss Sijuin says it's not a serious problem, then there's no need to worry.
But it also looks like she's the only medic you've...
Well, that's true.
What do you mean, that's true? That's really misrepresenting the situation. Of course I can't speak for the whole fortress, but it's not like everyone in prison. Though they may have committed crimes and gotten locked up here as a result, they still know a thing or two about medicine, and they help Miss Sijuin take care of the sick and injured.
Yeah, you're right. But did you have to lecture me about it in front of another patient? Aren't you a patient too? Where did all your energy come from?
That's correct.
Are you two also?
We've been sick a while. I come back every once in a while for checkups, and to pick up the medicines Miss Sijuin prescribes for us. That's just the nature of chronic illnesses. As you could say she fancies herself as Miss Sijuin's capable helper because she learned a bit of medical knowledge.
Please watch your mouth, Mr. Jurier. Don't forget that you are the primary reason I have frequent heart palpitations.
Hey, don't start arguing now! Please, keep it... So there's no need to argue over silly things like that.
Release. It's way too early for us to even think about that.
Ok, on a vu
And
une
who the
trappe.
heck knows if we'd even be able to continue our previous lot?
Please allow me to end this boring and useless conversation. Oh, and Mr. Jurier, I don't want to see your face here.
And same to you, Miss Lorvine. Anyway, that was more than enough rest for me, so I'm going to get out of this excessively
He just slowly walked off? Like that?
It's just what... I'm sorry you had to see all of that. I'm Lorvine, and that's... Well, his name is...
You really can't stand him!
I mean, can you blame me? Who would like someone who's as arrogant and obsessed with weird research topics as he is? I'll accompany you two for a while. Miss Sijuin should be back soon, and I'm sure you'll feel better as soon as... No, it's not.
I'm back! Did you rest like you promised?
Thank you for getting our medicine, Miss Sijuin.
Did you all cooperate with your bed rest? I trust that nobody got up to walk around. Good. Here, this should be 2 days' worth of medicine for you. Take 1 pill now, and then continue your bed rest. Miss Lorvine, I left in a bit of a hurry just now. Do you still remember if we discussed the color of the pill that you should be taking today?
I remember.
Yellow, huh? I understand. These are yours. Please, make sure to go to bed early.
All right, then I'll also be on my way now. I hope you feel better soon, too.
See ya! I'm going to fill out your medical record now. You're widely known as the Traveler, right? Those two made quite the commotion just now, so why don't we let the Traveler rest? Paimon can answer the... So his primary symptoms are abdominal... That's all right then. Is there anything we should know besides to take the meds? No, his base constitution is quite good, so I'm sure he'll recover quite quickly after taking the medicine. Please make sure to stick to Blink. Got it. Paimon will hold the... Oh, you're going to take a nap already? Okay then, you get some rest. We've been to lots of places together. May look a bit under the weather. weather now, but he's actually super strong. So you're the best of companions. Don't worry. Ah, you're awake. How do you feel? You slept for a really long time, but we never... Well, now you can go back without a worry in the world. Remember to take your meds regularly. And remember... Thank you, Miss Sijuin!
Il y avait un truc là, non? What the fuck? Ah, il faut que je monte là. Non? Non, ça va, c'est à cet étage là.
You really are something. To be able to fall asleep like that and even sleep talk the entire time, you scared Paimon half to death! No, but you kept mumbling things along the lines of, Tyron, go take my grilled fish and put down the Adeptus Temptation. Paimon talked with Sijuin the entire time you were asleep.
Je rêve de Paimon qui mange.
She seems like she's just a sincere nurse, and Paimon didn't notice anything unusual in the room. Are you sure we're not going off track with the infirmary? Whoa! You really are super thorough. All those tiny little suspicious things that... Messing with my head again. You had your heart set on me, but these feels, they come and go, and they come so easily. Tell me what it is about you that I can't forget, but you're breaking down my walls again, just to set me free. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby,
Enfin.
why do I love the way you always
Est-ce qu'on va avancer?
Today's the day! Let's go meet up with Lenny! Oh!
Hmm? Did you two run into any trouble over the past few days?
No, we just worked our shifts according to the schedule.
That's good. That means you didn't raise any We've taken a look at the slip you've sent. Fremine successfully left the grounds via the pipes 2 days ago. And as of last night, Lynette has also...
Wait, why is she getting involved?
You already went above and beyond when you scoped out the infirmary. To put it more bluntly, even if we were to view that as something you didn't... Infiltrating a guarded stronghold is a different kind of job from a one-off investigation. We want to avoid using the same faces over and over and reduce the amount of suspicion that will fall on any given... Lynette also felt like you have already taken the first step for us, so she should be the one to finish the job.
So that's what Lynette thinks. Oh, Paimon hopes everything's going well for her.
Then, let's go check on Lynette before Fremine returns.
Is now really a good time?
According to my observations, Sijuin always spends around half an hour away from the infirmary right before... Also, I'm her brother, remember? It's only natural for...
Okay, then let...
Allons-y. En ITP.
Lynette should be here. Huh. Strange.
As expected, isn't here, but why isn't Lynette here?
No, Lynette rarely deviates unless...
Let's see if there are any clues around here.
Okay.
Moi, j'irai voir la trappe.
There are some books here and a few files. They all look like... Advanced nursing. These sure are some interesting books. She even has books on understanding...
Seems quite normal to me. None of the beds have any signs of having been slept in.
That's the one Lynette must have used, right? You said she was pretending...
She would have said her migraine was having a particularly bad flare-up. Generally speaking, which means either the head nurse didn't return the entire time from when Lynette laid down up until... Wait, this thing? It doesn't look like it's been disguised that well. The space behind it is empty. From its size, I don't think it's an entrance that is meant to be... Could Lynette have tried to get inside? But if that's... let's look around here for some more clues. Don't pay...
Hey, you guys, there's a slip of paper.
A slip of paper?
It's right over here, and there's a bunch written on it too. It reads, out of respect for your usual practices, I'll use a piece of paper or card as the medium to pass on my message. You may consider this as me...
This is...
Is that all? The back.
Show me! Now!
That look on you. Would you care to guess where Miss Lynette of the Fatui could be right now? No. Could she have? Is she already?
Wriosthley. Did he deliberately leave the infirmary unguarded to use...
Wait, you mean he was aware of our goals from the very beginning? But...
Yes, that is a crucial question. Wriosthley, he doesn't do anything without a clear goal or reason. So this means he had no concerns about your activity. You're not from the same camp as us. You were sent down here by Neuvillette, so you have no conflict of interest with Wriosthley. We're a completely different story, though. I'd like to know that, too. Why did he only go... Don't panic, just think everything over. I have to stay calm. Wait, you're right. The fact that Fremine was able to leave the grounds... Could Wriosthley have let him go as well?
What does he gain by letting Fremine leave like that?
So he's challenging me and trying to provoke me. We never should have sent out Fremine. We had to go through all that trouble to find an opening to sneak him around the guards and into the pipe, and we even thought luck was on... If Wriosthley let him leave on purpose, then he's probably in a terrible...
Lenny's getting more and more panicked. Wait, don't be like this, Lenny. Fremine wouldn't have left if we hadn't told you about Child.
No. I'm the leader of this operation, and I'm the one responsible for this team.
Hey, don't be reckless! Traveler, please!
I simply cannot allow Lynette to be abducted again. I have to go. I'll find a way to get them back!
He's rushed out the door! After him!
Right. I feel like we still have some room to make changes on these details.
It's not impossible, but it'll require extensive testing.
Is that so? Huh?
Is someone?
Pack everything up. Whoever's outside is eavesdropping. They'll probably come in once we stop talking. Someone! Please help! He's sick!
Whoa, are you okay?
These two. As expected, they've already found this place. Oh, they are... What a delightful turn of events. I like smart people, but I also like playing dumb. Oh my! What's wrong, little one? There's no need to pay. Being able to read human expressions is quite the useful skill. Wait! Wait! It's no use, we have to catch up to him! He's already out of sight! How is he so fast? Let's go head him off at Wriosthley's office!
Okay.
Come out and face me, Wriosthley!
Aren't we at an administrative office space? Why don't you at least try to follow even a couple rules from the fortress?
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea. I do have some teas in my collection.
Stop joking around! Where did you take my siblings?
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynette would sometimes enter a box filled with water, only to emerge the next second from... Maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you were to turn your head.
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No, he's probably not looking to attack me right now. All of the hostages are in his hands, and he's even in the mood for small talk. That means Lynette is probably still alive. You knew we were investigating the infirmary from the start, so you deliberately aroused the traveler's suspicions and big... As for Fremine...
Il savait pas pour nous.
No, you probably didn't even interfere with Child's escape. You let him go, so you could purge the Fatui members that...
There was no need to do so. The fortress of Meripede is a pretty pleasant place. Most people enjoy their lives here. The only ones who act differently are...
You removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and investigate. Fremine has also fallen into your hands, right? If you're oh so omnipotent...
One correction. Lynette is in my hands right now, but Fremine is not.
He's not. What do you...
Lenny!
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say this once. Thank you so much for eager and to the point, I see. Alas, only Miss Lynette is currently having a cup of... Although, as per your original plan, Mr. Fremine should also have returned to the fortress by now. But he has neither shown up within my gates, nor has he been taken into any kind of...
Wait, you can't mean... You locked him outside in the sea?
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world.
Fremine's a star diver, so he should be fine.
No, we're still here, so he definitely tried to find a way to come back for us. So we can't assume he might have made a break for the surface.
But why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Linney is a great magician, so it's only natural for me to want to have some cards of my own. Besides, I do recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette that you've always wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with the Lord of the Fortress.
So, you've been keeping tabs on us before we...
Some of my folks just happened to hear a thing or two, that's all. In any case, I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. But once you started focusing on the Forbidden Zone, Mr. Linney, the cards are stacked against you right now. Miss Lynette is in my hands, and Mr. Fremine is still slowly being pickled out there in the brine. You know just as well as I that he cannot last out there forever. You need do but one thing to guarantee their safety. I would like you to contact your superior. And ideally...
You want to see Father? But why should she bother giving you an...
Well, if she cares for the well-being of her dearest children, she should have plenty of motivation to join me for a parent's... I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth are like the bonds of family. I don't see why...
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the Fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no-man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone as important...
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here. That's such a shame. After all, I've amassed quite the tea collection.
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much pressure you may put on me,
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking for is a face-to-face conversation. Does she truly have no Mr. Linney, you have one last chance to invite your father here.
Winnie!
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective for a second? From the very beginning, I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only caused you to double down. Had you given up on the fortress then and there, I'd have no reason to want to talk. Mr. Fremenet left the fortress on his own, and Miss Lynette tried to pry out my secrets right in front of me. No,
I shouldn't ask Father to do anything because of us.
6,
Wait,
2, time's up.
Wriosthley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, listen to the Traveler! If you can't talk to Linny, can you at least talk to us?
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette, yes? You're here helping him out, and I've already done my best to stay out of your way. But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The fortress may be small and remote, but it still has its own set of laws. Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now, so I'll ask you 3 questions. Answer all of them correctly, and I'll agree. Question 1. Regarding the hidden rules of the production zone, what is the truth behind the one about not being allowed to work for...
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half-hour. The Fonta promoter has been struggling because we often see Miss Sigewin observing the prisoners at work. Fonta's internal reports suggest that the research notes said that the Melusine, according to Collins, we often see Miss We often see Miss Sigewin observing the prisoners at work. We often see Miss Sigewin. The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. I've been told that the infirmary... The research notes said that the Melusine race perceives the world...
Oh!
So that's what's going on. The hidden rule of the production zone. People are not supposed to work 3 days in a row, and if they do, they'll get At first we thought this strange meat must have something to do with the people who disappeared. But in reality, she often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health and makes a note of anyone who has worn themselves out. And out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine concern for the workers' health, Sigewin visits the cafeteria right before lunch and cooks an extra. Sigewin has only the best intentions with her surprise gift and doesn't. Unfortunately, Melusines as a race perceive the world differently from humans, and the recipients of her lovingly prepared special meals cannot taste the care within and usually just food. Are we on the right track?
Not bad. You've uncovered Sigewin's secret and even guessed her intentions correctly as well. It's nice to know that her efforts have not gone unignored. Alright, now for my next... There are also some hidden rules in the Pancration Ring, including the one that you're not allowed to support both sides of a fight.
Il n'est pas possible d'acheter 2.
According to Collins, The Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta company sponsored it. The company must want a return on their investment as well. The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupon. Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged... The Fonta promoter has been... Fonta's internal reports... According to Collins...
Oh.
According to Collins, the Pancration tournament... I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour. According to Collins... The Fonta promoter has been struggling. We often see Miss Sigewin observing... The Fonta promoter has been...
Okay.
Paimon gets this rule too now. So that hidden rule of the Pancration ring is about how, people are not supposed to bet on both boxers at the... People get scared when they see it because they've subconsciously begun to associate, but really, it's just a bottle of the latest yet-to-be-named and packaged new Fonta trial product. A blood-red drink. It's no wonder even Fonta's own staff were questioning the company's decision. The company, facing backlash from its own staff, decided to try to trial the product on a smaller scale to see how it might be received, but they came to the fortress of Meropide and offered to sponsor the Pancration tournament so they could push their new product. The Duke, knowing how valuable coupons are in the fortress, knew that only total idiots who didn't understand their true and so only those who proved their stupidity by being dumb enough to bet on two opposing sides of the same...
I acknowledge the effort you've put into bringing the truth of this mystery. Although, based on your description, that Fonta promoter is a bit too careless with his words. I may just reconsider my... Alright, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Wriosthley! You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question! The thought of sparing You'll pay for this! Ah!
Lenny, are you alright?
Oh, close one. I owe you, Sigewin. That was a fantastic...
It was nothing, Your Grace. Sigewin? Though this gun may look like a toy, it's actually fully functional, as I just demonstrated.
Sigewin...
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress, and thus protecting it is my... When Monsieur Neuvillette asked me to come here, he told me that my job would be to take care of the well-being of everyone here. I am merely discharging my duty. But if you mean what you just said, then isn't Lenny someone you should be looking after as well? Isn't he a resident here just like the rest of us? But I really am just doing what Monsieur Neuvillette told me to do. Everything I did, I've done to protect them. Had I not, they would be in far more dire straits right now. His Grace knows it too, right? Your Grace? Mine?
My dear Sigewin, whatever shall I do with you? Would it have killed you to just wait another minute or two?
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you do things can be truly frustrating sometimes, Your Grace. I figured I should try to talk some sense into you. What are you talking about?
Take me if you want. Let them...
How touching. Can you just give me one more minute?
Don't be like that, Your Grace.
Alright, everyone, calm down. 2 more visitors will be arriving any time now. I'll go get a cup of tea. Miss Sigewin, I leave Miss Lynette in your care.
You... What?
I believe I hear footsteps.
Tu peux être familière, il y a quelque chose dans la pièce.
Some space, please.
Ah, Miss Clarande. My door.
Fremine. Fremine.
What's going on? What is Clorinde doing here?
Work.
I'm sorry about shooting you, Mr. Linney. The tranquilizing effect will begin to wear off soon. Please take it easy and—
What happened to Fremine? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like this?
A flushed face, an accelerated pulse. He must have consumed—
What did you say?
Please, make some space. I'll need to give Mr. Fremine a more thorough checkup. Your Grace,
I'll talk to Clorinde while you get Fremine to where he needs to be. Everything else can wait.
How is he?
these symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of a large amount of primordial seawater. Still, his condition is not— Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further observation. But let's leave him here for now, and move him to the infirmary once he's— Sorry. I am aware that the infirmary may not be your favorite place in the world at the moment.
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater after leaving the fortress?
Please, look after Mr. Fremine for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator. Oh,
Where is she?
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations are correct, she should also be waking up right around now. You might not believe me, but His Grace and I actually made some snacks and tea for her.
What's that look on your face? I thought I made good time on the way back.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few minutes later, Sigewinne may have been forced to shoot Mr. Linney again. How's the situation out there?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of primordial seawater— I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay for any significant amount of time, well, you can see how that boy's doing.
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance into the water.
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized it early on and tried desperately to swim back.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons. Never seems to work, though.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack for picking out who had good intentions, even when the outcomes were all terrible.
That's a bad sign. Want some tea?
Not particularly. If you want to drink some that badly, just say so.
Fine, I'd like to get some tea. Want me to get you a cup too, since I've already made it?
Might as well then, I suppose. Actually, do you have a towel? I would like to dry my hair.
Rinny, are you okay?
I'll be fine. They're all here now. Don't worry.
Are you sure? You don't look—
My hands and feet are still a bit weak, but that's probably just the residual.
I'm back, everyone.
Lenny! Oh. Fremine?
He'll be fine. But for now, please help me lift—
His breathing's beginning to slow down.
Give me a hand and help me get him to the infirmary.
Yeah, I'll take him from this side. Lynette, to get
on it. Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. Want to come with us? the Duke and Clarander gone? They probably went to get some tea. The Duke will explain the truth in just a bit. Miss Clarand will need a break, since she only...
C'est louche. Et moi j'ai l'impression que Wriosthley veut rencontrer Arlecchino pour comprendre pourquoi elle envoie toujours autant de fatui dans sa forteresse. Donc il s'est servi de l'inné et l'inette. Mais par contre ça explique pas pour Tartaglia.
He's awake. Fremine, how do you feel?
Linny... Lynette...
We're all here.
The infirmary, at the Fortress of Meripede, Mr. Fremine. How do you feel? Don't push yourself if you're not...
Traveler... Paimon... It's been so long. The sea... There's something wrong with the seawater.
Shh, it's okay. We can talk.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. I don't know why it's there, but no one should touch it. Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now.
Ok. On va jouer.
I'm in. Where could Master Child be? This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it?
Ok. Elle est stylée son épée. Jamais vu celle-là.
It's getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it.
Bizarrement, je m'en doutais qu'il fallait faire un truc comme ça. J'avais hésité à faire dès le début. Je me suis dit, ils vont forcément nous casser les couilles. Ils ont l'air de trop aimer ça, Fontaine. Okay.
This is where the water starts. Okay. Master Child probably dived into the water. Vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. There are traces here too. I need to keep going. Huh? The traces are gone. But I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait. What the? My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it.
Dommage, j'ai pas vu qu'il perdait des points de vie.
I can't die here. This. I have to push on.
So, in other words, the trail you were following vanished, and you had no—
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance.
Miss Clarande brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared at the fortress, or what—
Miss Clarande, you say? I must go think—
You're still too weak for Monet. You can go after you've— Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarande will stay here as a guest for another few days.
A guest? Then I can assume Wriosthley was the one who invited her to come—
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain better. Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on. Wanna come with us, Lynn?
No, please go on without me.
Lenny.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave. Both of you are just in danger.
Understood. Then, in that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you. The Traveler and I are going to head out for now. As long as you stay in here—
Thank you.
Bon, c'est toujours la T4, bah oui. Le nom de la quête, il a dû changer peut-être. J'ai encore eu ça. Je n'ai rien fait. Imminence de l'apocalypse. 1000 d'XP. Ah ouais. Ah. C'est vrai qu'à Fontaine on meurt pas dans l'eau.
Excuse me?
I take it Mr. Fremenet's condition has stabilized?
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirm.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Sidween?
I wanted to check up on Miss Cloran. How are you feeling?
Mostly fine, I think.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me.
Well, want to explain yourself, Wriosthley?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions?
And Paimon will begin. Did you know about
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your investigation.
Ah oui, Arlencino, en anglais c'est Knave. Je sais pas pourquoi. C'est pareil, Tartaglia c'est Child. Est-ce que Knave ça veut dire quelque chose en anglais? Parce qu'encore Child, bon, on sait. Fripon, friponne, d'accord. Filou. Ok.
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals. Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own. Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went. So I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the answer.
So you were hoping Linny's group would just do your work for you?
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremenet has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Are the rumors true? That you're also a former criminal?
Now, why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison? I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates. That's all.
Oh, right. Paimon wanted to ask, who invited Cloran?
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving Fremenet was
En
part
vrai,
of that
Cloran,
crisis?
j'aimerais bien que ce soit en vrai un 4 étoiles. Elle m'intéresse de fou. Et je crois que ça va être un 5
You
et...
can think of it like that, yes. Credit
Déjà
where
chaud,
credit
je
is
peux pas
due,
savoir.
that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing Harbinger already. That's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette, all I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you've spoken to Fremenet.
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case,
Yeah, Paimon...
even if the truth may not be pleasant. Follow me.
door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Wriosthley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meripede is.
Mhm. Production secrète et zone interdite.
Stand on the center.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa! So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, what a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
Well, Paimon wasn't thinking...
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the...
Huh. So there's a switch on this...
Stand back.
Whoa! They all just went up one by one!
Go on, have a look.
Qu'est-ce qu'il pourrait bien y avoir?
I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential danger that could be behind. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position, likely because some parameter it's been tracking has changed, if only infinitesimally. Normally, I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any guesses what the reading could be tracking? Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. Unfortunately, the temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran it later on. A few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress,
The concentration of...
and that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily rising. Yes, that's very likely.
But forget about the two of us. Not even Neuvillette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak. Oh.
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and it's now very close to us. The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us. If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all. Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the...
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the... It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been when the previous Hydro Archon Egeria ruled the land. All convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced some of them began to repent, and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them, and said, "And so, Leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as, but as time went on, people also realized once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all.
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, then everyone will be dissolved into the sea. To be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped. Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witnessing it in real time, let's go somewhere else. This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last round of experiments have—
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
Huh?
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them
What? After you warned us not to tell a single—
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure they are
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever imagine.
Alright then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. Good. Saves me a bit of— Edwin's main areas of research were archaeum and gravimeters. As his assistant—
You want to blow up the—
what a lovely idea.
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's—
Ooh, are they together?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
Your Grace!
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than—
Jeez, forget I said anything then. Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
What a huge ship! This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What?
How much do you know about Fontainian? Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used— According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a huge, he called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
Do you believe that?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my— So the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontainians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster. Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress fast. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. Alright, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Do you have any other questions? Seems like you're good.
Ok. Encore beaucoup de blabla, on n'a encore rien fait.
I'll leave you here for now.
Oh,
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those three as well.
yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Great.
Ou les calamiteuses.
Welcome back. Do you want a cup of tea? How can you be so much like Wriosthley, always drinking tea?
Huh. Actually, now that you mention it, I just remembered something. While I was sedated, I could still barely hear two people talking next to me. They were discussing everything, from the leaves to the water and even the tea.
Must have been Wriosthley and Sejuin.
Yeah, I heard one male voice and one female, so it should have been the two of them. They really...
I really can't make sense of this place.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn anything from Wriosthley?
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations? Yeah, I took the time to rest, so...
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sejuin is also busy with something or other.
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself three. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea.
Ooh, he's good.
That's Arlini.
Secondly, Wriosthley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first. I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably... What's more, the Fortress of Meripede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Iudex Neuvillette. Wriosthley is basically the king of a no-man's land. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the two factions are pitted against each other, Wriosthley will be free to move between the parties of interest. If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's like...
You're super...
Thanks so much. If Wriosthley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary. I don't have enough information, so I
can't believe...
The sea will engulf everyone.
Could Wriosthley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis. But how could
Or perhaps he didn't know, and just wanted to bring Father over to his side? Which could be why he said he just wanted...
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. The two of you have already aided us far too much. If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the Hearth at any time. Though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together, the three of us basically see you as family now.
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Linny when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress.
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden? Paimon's hungry.
Oh,
Alright, then we'll catch you guys.
On a toujours faim. Oh, j'ai pas pu me réceptionner, je suis tête moi.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well. Traveler and Paimon, over here. opportunity to prepare. Huh. You're right. What would you like to eat? Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like. Me too! Don't forget. No problem. So delicious. Paimon's so happy. Paimon wants to. Feeling full yet? How's the food? Delicious. I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see, the expression on your face just now? The muscle here just moved. Sigewinne, do you do this to help your patients or to better... A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melazine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I... You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so short, you still talk and act like an older sister. Really? You're reminded of an older sister? That's great to hear. Oh, and what did you mean back in Wriosthley's office? When you said that you were protecting Linny and his siblings as well? Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. I was getting a bit worried after hearing that something was wrong with the water. Thankfully, Glorand is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed the pipes after Glorand left, to make sure that Linny wouldn't impulsively chase after his brother. Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Glorand had returned. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linny as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow him to be in any real... You are all super considerate. It's just what we do down here at the fortress. Oh, I really wish Monsieur Neuvillette would come down here more often too. I feel like he'd like it here. With all... Get a good night's rest, you two.
On allait parler à Glorand.
Glorand!
Ah, it's you two.
How's dinner?
It's all right. Miss Sigewinne really put in a lot of...
So we heard that Wriosthley invited you to come down to help, and you saved...
Oh, it was child...
Still, Paimon didn't know even champion duelists could take... Oh, and why aren't you eating with Sigewinne and the Duke? Won't you get...
Miss Sigewinne was with you, and the Duke has business of his own.
Actually, didn't Navia say that you went out for dinner with her as well?
Yeah.
First time in a long time. So you mean you've gone out to dinner with her in the past?
In the past. You seem to be enjoying yourselves here. Things will be getting messy at the fortress soon. Don't run around.
Les choses vont bientôt se gâter. Cela pue. Est-ce qu'on va enfin se battre?
Take it easy.
Ah, Yaka est morte.
Stand with me.
So much has happened. I'm on super sleep. Delicious.
Out of my way! Get out of my way! What
running? No idea. Something must have happened. Stop asking.
Il y a les sirènes, non?
What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Hey, what? What's wrong with these people?
They're here! Yeah, there you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
Quisto and Laveroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong. Just Laveroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed. Yet you only find out once you do a head count that—
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it suddenly—
Hey,
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us. Yeah, he said to get as far away as—
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Whoa, wait, what? What? Hey, where—
We have to go by the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
Hey, hey! Be careful!
Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards. Upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost
Cloran a dit les choses vont bouger.
as far outwards as possible.
Moi j'écoute Cloran. C'est ouvert, c'est pas normal.
They're here.
Just like I said.
We have it!
La porte va lâcher.
You're just in time. But be ready to run. Three, two, one.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Ok. Les choses ont bougé, mais on n'a toujours pas eu de combo. On a juste vu Wriosthley, pas de compte de l'eau.
Neuvillette, why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately. Furina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Furina, and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her. Will do. You have...
Elle va pas y péter son nez aussi. Ah, il y a beaucoup trop de fatouilles.
Look, there are a ton of Fatui and Palais people. Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to...
Oui, ça c'est une mille-usine. CG-Win? CG-Win? C'en est pas une. Enfin, je suis désolé, t'as pas la même tête.
Oh, so you two are the honored guests Miss Furina mentioned.
Of course, of course! How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table.
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside me.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Furina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Furina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day. Here, why don't you and Paimon have a taste?
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Furina and I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial...
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Furina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Eudex against ordinary people. My colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. I must express my admiration for Monsieur Neuvillette. Coming from you, that's not surprising at all.
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier, as you well know.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that Child is still alive.
Oh, and just...
Because we found
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Well...
The fortress of Meripede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for it. Do you have any proof that he surfaced safely? That is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago, since he was unfortunately unavailable. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhn.
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents... Hold on. The what?
I suppose this is also a sign of things.
I don't quite
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
A day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled, and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day! This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. The tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You won't.
Very well. It wasn't.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
So what gift must the loser give?
He already has tons of tea in his office.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside.
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal codices.
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to it.
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui.
Il a maîtrisé l'eau primordiale. Et il l'a scellé.
I must say, we've spent long enough, Miss Furina. As the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your...
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontainian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also that every part of it yet. Here you are, relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your... The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. But you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take action.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjecture.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time.
Even if you look down upon Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am.
Then I ask you, Miss Furina, just what have you been working on? Where can we...
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at the fate.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential?
An emergency response.
Oh, that look in your eyes.
The emergency response plan is all.
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Furina, what is the purpose of your oratrice mécanique d'analyse, and what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that...
The oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it. I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro Archon? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Neuvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Furina, I suppose you must have ordered him away.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly right. Please keep it as...
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Furina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex by your side. Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please... Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? You too, Paimon.
Thank you. Oh, Paimon's super...
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Furina's table. And I was merely catering to Miss Furina's tastes. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of.
Very well. We'll end it here.
Mind seeing me off, Traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss Child before I must be off.
Paimon's coming too!
Water jet!
Okay. Je crois si on va s'appuyer. C'est ridicule. Elle est stylée l'épée.
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
That's what Paimon thought.
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude. That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fromine are still there, and I trust...
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tries
You mean Wriosthley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Lenny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely— By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle— You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow me to share my perspective.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the fortress of Meropide.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparation?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Furina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that—
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you! You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Furina to be handed to me on a silver platter. But anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. After all, it's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The hydrognosis is not currently held by the Archon. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please?
The fear in her pupils is genuine. So perhaps she's not bait after all. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Furina dares not mention this incident to anyone. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Furina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she even bring herself to eat her cake. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Iudex Neuvillette is actually the genuine article. I have to find the gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it.
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please.
News from the fortress of Meropide. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that ride.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon and Iudex Nu— Oh, and I have an—
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the fortress of Meropide will be a front. Lenny and his group will be responsible for the actual intent.
Yeah.
You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden any.
You attacked the Hydro Archon?
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Furina herself is still— I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Furina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Iudex Neuvillette must be the Hydro Archon, but now, that doesn't seem right to me either. I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether you Dex of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require justification.
Bah je sais pas là, actuellement je suis en train de découvrir un peu.
It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land of my birth. Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. It looks like Fontainians will have no choice. Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. Should the need arise, I would be happy to cooperate with you. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with
Neuvillette?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later... Thank you for protecting Furina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the primordial sea and reseal the sluice gate.
Okay.
So as expected, the knave has turned up the pressure on Furina. She's trying to... Permission granted.
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon. You can't tell us? Then that's okay. We can...
If by the phrase, you guys, you are referring to Furina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics. I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief, and now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh? Why is it raining all...
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... Huh?
Please do not be so surprised. Furina? My apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the dragon...
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you...
Right, of course. There's still something Paimon wants to ask.
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, and you are... Then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the crisis?
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included. They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authorities.
There are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching dragons.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient history. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal.
Oh, so even you can't solve it.
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions regarding...
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler wife, we'll see you another time.
Take care.
Ok. Du coup, c'est un roi dragon. Ouais, c'est possible. Faut que j'aille chercher ça. Moi. Avant de retourner là-bas.
There's a pleasant breeze and glorious sunshine. So, where shall we go for a walk?
Ah, tiens. Bah, l'histoire en tant que telle est cool. Mais bon, il mettrait un film, ce serait tout pareil quoi. Enfin, on n'intervient pas vraiment dans tout ça. Elle est pas là la statue. Elle est encore plus bas. Derrière ça. Ouais, peut-être c'est dans la forteresse. Ouais, l'histoire est bien, mais là, en 4 actes, on n'a pas eu beaucoup de combats.
You guys are back.
You guys didn't get caught and thrown back to...
Ah, and here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the commotion. I'd held you up as legendary jailbreakers, but now you...
All right. There's no need to get caught up in the details. We're just relieved to see you. He was super...
Hey, it wasn't just me.
So I was also transferred to work in the kitchen a few days ago. I can still hear Quisto mumbling to the carrots. Are those two all right? Whenever he'd say that, I'd...
Hey, there's nothing wrong with worrying about your prison pals. Is there?
These two. They sure are a lot warmer and friendlier than when Paimon first met them.
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be watching you to make sure you...
Ok, c'est Join.
Traveler! Paimon, you're back! Are you still doing alright? Did either of you get hurt?
Bon, on sait pas ce qui devient.
We're fine, but what about you guys? It was such a few people sustained superficial injuries, but that's about the extent of the damage. Of course, we must also thank you for the... How did Neuvillette know that he was needed here? I'm sure Neuvillette has strong resonance with the hydro element. When the water level rises, I ran into the bombshell bros while bandaging the injuries of the wounded. They were mumbling the whole time about how you just ran down without a word. If you're not too pressed for time, please stay with us a few more days. Just let me know if you get a craving for any particular dish, so I can have Mr. Walsey get your meat. I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time observing your facial muscles as well. Your happy smiles are quite
Ok. Ouais, j'ai... On va voir après ce sera un 4 ou 5 étoiles, mais... Je peux jouer. Bah. Ah ouais, non, ça donne l'autre. Ouais, c'est en bas.
Courier? Miss Sejuin told me.
Yeah, I was working on.
That's no excuse for.
Junior, Lurvine, we're back!
Hello there. It's been quite the mess here recently.
And you? Are you still taking the secret passageway from the infirmary to work on the ship?
Yep. That is still top secret, though.
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people in the infirmary, but I still prefer taking that route.
I mean, the infirmary does make it easier for you to.
Oh, yeah? Then why are you also here so much?
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for your relationship.
Not at all!
Bon. Là, j'imagine que je dois aller là. C'est l'infirmerie là. Ils sont encore là.
Now guess, what suit will this next card be?
Well, well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon.
Ouais. J'ai pas trouvé la statue et je me suis pas encore penché sur l'exploration. J'ai vraiment fait que les quêtes.
Hello, everyone. Looks like you're recovering nicely from it, eh?
Mm-hmm. Thanks to everyone's support. Oh, right. I managed to work up the courage to thank Miss Clorant in person.
Whoa, how did she...
She told me that it was nothing. It was as if...
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all. She's right, and it's best not to dwell on it.
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out. We went back to the opera house and we...
You meant father? Did she say...
She said a few things that were...
Her attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. That's fantastic. You should believe her. She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do everything in her power to help those she considers close, which now might also include you.
Mm-hmm. Father is very capable, and
Oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Lenny was a bit too proud as well. She said that you should learn how to rely on others sometimes.
Got it.
That does sound like something that father would say.
Hey!
are you going to stay here for the next...
Looks like it.
Excellent. I will hope...
For real? Then Paimon wants another serving of cake.
Another implies that you are already served some delicious... Well, next time, you're going to have to...
Ok, maintenant je dois parler à Brie aussi.
Do my eyes deceive me, or did I just see two inmates come back after making it to the surface? Some strange...
We wanted to see how the fortress is doing.
We're fine, for the most part. Neuvillette came down...
If that's the case, why don't you just ask him to stay here?
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. Let's go convince the Udex himself to exchange the courts of Fontaine for a puddle of water. He came here in a hurry and left without even stopping for a cup of tea. He did remember to take Miss Sejuin's gift with him, though.
He sure sounds super...
Miss Clorant has left as well. She also took her gift from Miss Sejuin.
Well, Were the gifts milkshakes?
Neuvillette got the milkshake. Clorand received lipstick instead.
Those aren't even remote.
Well, it's Neuvillette's own fault for making Sigewinne worried about his health by working so much. But besides that, our head nurse is still pretty fond of picking out beauty products for the ladies. Oh, and I have some gifts here for you.
Are these from
Nope, they're from your... You've already wrapped up your work at the fortress, so you can return to the surface at any time. You haven't yet served your full prison term, however.
For real? Then we could stay here for a really long time?
You may access the cafeteria for... Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your release.
Ok, faut aller se reposer maintenant. Bah du coup faut que je remonte.
We're back in our cell again. We're no longer prisoners though, so it really doesn't feel the same. Being free sure feels pretty special now.
Ah.
Huh? How did you know? Hey, that's not true! All right. It's like we've now gone to so many places together and become friends with so many... There are so many bad things in the world, and we're just two people, but we've still been solving problems. You're counting Paimon today? Aren't you the only... Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an adventurer handbook as well! Just got thoughts making. The last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to a whole mess outside ourselves. The primordial sea... We should be safe now, right? Alright then. Good night to you, traveler.
Ah ouais. On dirait les espèces de phoques mais en géant. Bon voilà. Il est stylé. Mais il est là stylé. Mais par contre c'est toujours pas... si Tartaglia est sorti.
Take it easy.
Ah. Je peux pas l'appeler?
Take it easy.
Ok. Ok, le vlog. Ouais, bon en vrai c'était pas très dur les quêtes principales. C'était juste un peu long. Puis on a eu 4 actes sans quasiment aucun combat. Et bon, l'histoire est cool. Oh. En fait, j'aime bien le style des personnages. J'aime bien l'exploration aussi. J'aime bien les mondes ouverts. Oh, il y a un point de TP là. Ouais non je meurs pas, c'est vrai. C'est de l'endurance. Bon, les combats j'aime bien le fait que il y ait une synergie entre les personnages. C'est vraiment cool. Bon, c'est pas là. Comment je fais pour l'avoir ce machin là? Je peux passer là. Ah puis je vois pas c'est à quelle couche. Bon, je vais explorer un peu quand même. Bon là c'est la chiffonnerie, je suis déjà passé. Et je pense que c'est là où j'étais tout à l'heure. Il y avait un truc à faire. Je vais aller voir. Je vais aller voir aussi la nouvelle zone. Je sais pas quand arrêter. Bon là ici la statue on la voit. Ah. Ah ouais. Ah bah quand même. Qu'est-ce que c'est ça? Le bureau du duc. Ouais. Du coup, je vais aller voir l'autre statue. Tiens, je vais prendre nomade pour l'explo.
Are you sure it has to be me?
Pas marché.
Squall and Fury.
Ça lag un peu ici.
Behold.
Ah, il est là-bas.
Squall and Fury.
Ah ouais. Il y a un point de TP. Prendre au passage.
The wind rises. Too slow.
Quietly now.
Ok. Et du coup, il y a un nouveau boss. Hop, il est là. Ah, c'est vrai que ça a l'air plus simple avec la carte. Région Lazio, Charles a généré une équipe de Fontaine. Ok. Ok, oui j'ai pas mal d'exploits à faire du coup. L'autre il est là. Et le point de TP. Un peu de mon côté. Il est là. Moi, il y a plein de trucs que j'ai pas fait encore à Fontaine parce que bon. En ce moment, je suis plus en mode Honkai que Genshin. Oh, il est là-haut. Ah, merde. Mais je trouve ça assez cool l'exploration sous l'eau. C'est un peu ce qui manquerait en Honkai, je trouve. Le fait de pouvoir se balader librement et... Oh, c'est nouveau ça. Il laisse des bombes. Bon, après faut dire sous mes rouges, j'ai pas trop touché non plus en vrai. Il reste même encore des points de TP à aller chercher. J'ai juste fait les quêtes, les grosses quêtes. Inazuma, je suis étonné de pas avoir plus parce que j'ai quand même passé du temps. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Take it easy.
Ok.
A chest full of valuables.
Je sais pas trop ce que j'ai fait, mais ça a marché.
Trove of potential clues.
Moi j'imagine qu'il doit y avoir un truc là-haut, quand même. Comment si tu montes tout là-haut puis qu'il n'y a rien, bon t'es un peu le seum. Ah je vois. Non. Ok. Je sais pas ce que ça fait. Ah, j'ai au cristal. Ah, mais il y a des gens. Ah mais.
Squall and Fury.
Okay.
A chest full of valuables and a trove of potential clues.
Oh, les quêtes du monde, c'est un truc, c'est un délire aussi. J'ai un peu de mal avec les quêtes du monde. Le fait qu'il n'y ait pas de dialogue, enfin, que les personnages parlent pas. Je sais pas, j'aime moins. J'ai chopé une perle d'Hydroculus. Ouais. Ouais, il y en a, ouais. Et je trouve même ça dommage qu'il n'y ait pas de... pas plus de dialogue. Enfin, qu'il n'y ait pas de voix, tout ça. Genre les quêtes avec les arenas, tout ça, ils sont cool, mais... Il y a énormément de dialogue et le fait qu'il y ait... Il y a personne qui parle à mon oreille, quoi. Je sais pas, je trouve ça chiant.
Squall and Fury. Search forth. Quit following me.
Oh, je suis bloqué? Non, c'est bon.
Busted. My apologies.
Ouais, moi du coup, je sais tous les dialogues. Enfin, je les lis en diagonale quoi. Encore un truc de viser. M'occuper d'eux.
Gotcha.
Ah.
Things are about to get tight.
Our bond is strong. Lightning. Whirling snow.
Bon, je vais faire le truc de viser au-dessus. Avec les... Enfin, j'ai pas ouvert tant de coffres que ça.
A chest full of valuables and a trove of potential clues.
Busted. Stand with me. Kami-sato-art. Sumetsu.
Take it easy.
Game's up.
Fun's over.
Unthinkable. My apologies.
En fin de compte, je cherchais Apcolot, mais il était mort.
Collecting rare and exquisite treasures. Yes, this seems suitably sophisticated. Please appreciate. Take flight. Embrace the ice.
The wind rises.
Ouais, je m'en fous de lui, il me sert à rien pour moi.
Out of my way. Gotcha. So rude. Whirling, please hold for just a moment.
Things are about to get tight.
My apologies. Get my cry in. The bond is strong.
Squall fury.
Must go on.
That's far enough. You dare to gaze upon me?
Take flight. Kami-sato-art. Sumet.
Behold.
Quietly now.
Ouais, il était dur ce mob là. Tout ça pour un petit coffre.
Treasure. One way to draw your target.
Ok. On va arriver à la même chose à Shinobu. Mais comment j'enlève ça? Oh. Là-bas, il y a un joli coffre. C'est quoi ce truc énorme? C'est un joli coffre aussi.
Gotcha. Game's up. Fun's over. My apologies. Quietly now.
Stand with me. I'll settle this.
Busted.
Take flight. Our bond is strong.
Quietly now.
Whirling snow.
Collecting rare and exquisite treasures. Yes, this seems suitably sophisticated.
Ah non, c'est un coffre étrange là-bas. Bon, après, il donne quand même des primos.
The wind rises. Quit following me.
Bon, l'explo, c'est vraiment pas un des trucs les plus passionnants. Engagement vital. Ah. Quoi? Où est-ce qu'il sort lui? Oh, il y a les brutaux véreux là. Ah, je suis en bout de zone.
Quit following me.
Ok. Bon, je continuerai sûrement en stream. Le... Qu'est-ce que c'est ça? Je continuerai probablement en stream le... l'exploration. Peut-être même pas en vrai. Puis la prochaine fois on fera la quête de Neuvillette.
Ad Astra. Thank you for Ad Astra.
Ok. Ce serait bien qu'on puisse stocker plus de résine condensée. Merde, je déclenche la quête. Je vais regarder ses vêtements parce que j'ai l'impression qu'elle vient de l'IBU. Je trouve ça dommage qu'elle change pas d'aspect la fontaine. Quand on lui donne des sauts. Même l'art des rêves ou le cerisier là. C'est cool que ça change un peu comme les statues des 7. Et stylé le glider. Ah bon, j'ai pas fini celui d'Inazuma. On peut toujours en stocker que 5 ça? Ouais. C'est nul. Bon allez. Hop, ce sera tout pour moi aujourd'hui. Oh. Bah, du coup, j'ai dépassé les 500 succès. Oh, je vais quitter le jeu. Bon. L'histoire de la quête est vraiment cool. Mais... bon. On sert juste à déplacer le personnage, à tourner en rond comme un débile. C'est vraiment pas fou. Ça manque de combat, ça manque d'action. Sans quoi l'histoire en soi est bien. Je sais pas, ils auraient pu nous mettre une baston avec des prisonniers par exemple. Bref. Je voulais regarder juste un truc. Dans les listes de bannières, il y a Madame Ping. Ou Flamme Sentier, je crois, comme ça. Mais elle a encore un autre nom. Oh, mon chien capot. Ouais, tant pis. 4.2, 4.3 liquide. Parce que j'aimerais bien Furina. J'aimerais bien... Raiden, j'aimerais bien Chlorinde. Mais farmer des primos, c'est impossible. Mmh. 4.2, c'est Furina et Baishu encore. Ah, comment je fais? Ah oui, c'est là. Hop. .4. Ah oui, ils savent pas. Madame Ping, Xiao, Ganyu, Shenhe. Ah bah si, c'est les 4. 4.1. Ah oui, ce sera Venti avec Wriosthley. .2 bannière Furina. Ah. Furina, catalyseur, user. Catalyst user. Ah, c'est pas avec une épée à une main. Furina, Ayato, Baishu, Saino. Ok. 4.3 Navia. Ok. Mais Baishu a déjà un rerun. Alors que par exemple, il est apparu avant Ayaka. Il va réapparaître avant. Ah, il est apparu après Ayaka, il va apparaître avant. C'est ce que je voulais dire. Ouais. Je sais pas du coup. Et sur Honkai, on sait. Vendredi, il y a le live. Ok. 1.4. Aux alentours du 10 octobre, ok. Jingliu avec Chinchu Sampo Tingyun. Ah. J'ai pas encore poule dessus, j'aurais toujours pas Tingyun. Topaz et Comti avec Sushang, Lika et Guneifen. Moi je veux Guneifen. Et Topaz, si je peux l'avoir. Un skin pour March 7. Tout ça sera annoncé dans le live stream. Bon, c'est demain 13h. Du coup, on verra. Tac. Bon, du coup, j'ai très envie d'aller pisser. N'hésitez pas à aller voir sur mon YouTube. Hop. Où je poste toute la diffusion de live. D'ailleurs, la prochaine sort. Maintenant que c'est tous les 3 jours, je suis un peu perdu. Maintenant, ça sort tous les 3 jours, puis les 2. Ah bah, il y en a une qui est sortie aujourd'hui. Très bien. Et puis, hop. Twitter pour être averti des lives. J'ai mal à la gorge. C'est pour ça que j'ai pas trop forcé sur ma voix. J'espère que ça va aller. Sur ce, je vous laisse. Je vous souhaite une bonne fin d'après-midi et je vous dis à peut-être demain. Peut-être. Allez, ciao ciao.